Hello everyone, this is Alex from Bad Decks Played Badly, and this is going to be our newest deck. I call it White Light from Within. You can probably guess why the white, because it's an all mono white deck. The Light from Within part is the build around card of the entire deck, which is in our 4-drop slot. It's an enchantment that costs 4 to put down. It's got chroma, so each creature you control gets +1/+1 for each white mana symbol in its mana cost. So this is the best Anthem enchantment I've seen for mono white. It does cost 4, which is a bit expensive, but if you build around it right, it makes every creature just unstoppable. And I'll get around to showing which creatures I'm going to be making unstoppable. It's very heavy on the creatures, this deck, but it's obvious why. I will go over the first of the non-creatures. I've got 2 copies of Brave the Elements. Choose a colour. White creatures you control gain protection from the chosen colour until end of turn. That's 2 of them. So that's good for, against board wipes, or we can get through damage. If they've got a lot of chump blockers, we can gain protection. Just swing in and kill them off the bat. Very good card. Trust me, this is a good card. Path to Exile, 4 copies. Each exile target creature. It's controlled by search a library for a basic land card. Put that card onto their battlefield. Tapped, and then they shuffle their library. Yeah, so just good removal for 1. There's a reason why Path is probably the best white removal spell in Modern. It's just very good. Okay, let's start by creatures now. We've done the non-creatures. I've got 4 copies of Dryad Militant. It can be paid for green as well, but in our case it's just mono white. If an instant or sorcery card would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. So this is good against, I don't know, some like dredge decks maybe, control decks that use snapcasters. It's just very good. And it's a 2/1, so very quick off the bat with damage. Good card. I've got 2 copies of Knight of Meadowgrain. I just like this card. I've got 4 of them, and it's got First Strike and lifelink. All for 2 mana, which is very good. You got to remember, you've got to think of all of these cards. Once we've got Light from Within down, so that's going to be a 4/4 with First Strike and lifelink for 2. Very good. Same with Dryad Militant, that's going to be a 3/2. So you've just got to remember that these creatures get very big and very powerful very quickly. I've got 4 copies of Knight of the White Orchid. Orchid, I never really know how to pronounce it. So it's got First Strike. When Knight of the White Orchid enters the battlefield, if an opponent controls more lands than you, you may search your library for a plains card, put it onto the battlefield, and then shuffle your library. So it's just a good ramp card. Essentially, if they're on the play and we're on a draw, it's essentially a ramp spell, because we can hop our land count up to where we should be. So almost like we went first. It's just a very good card. It's got First Strike, so it'll become a 4/4. Everything we want in a deck. I've got 3 copies of Sarah Avenger. You can't cast a spell during your first, second, or third turn, so you can only play it on turn 4 onwards. But that's fine, because it only costs 2. It's flying, vigilance, 3/3. And with Light from Within down, this is going to be a 5/5 for 2. Very good value. I mean, the entire deck's just going to be very good value. I've got 4 copies of Aerial Responder. You'll be quite surprised to see this maybe being playing in Modern, but I found that it is a good card for chump blocking duties and just chipping away damage. It's got flying, vigilance, and lifelink, and it's a 2/3. So it's very good for blocking and attacking. It's just it keeps us in the game sometimes. Just gaining life really does help, and just chipping away is kind of what this deck wants to be doing. And once you've got a Light from Within down, what is it, a 4/5 with lifelink, vigilance, and flying? It's just very good, and a lot of decks just can't deal. I mean, some burn decks they'll scoop as soon as they can't get rid of one of these. Okay, and this is a new one. I've got 4 copies of Benalish Marshal. So it's got 3 white mana symbols in the mana cost, which is great for us. And it just gives other creatures +1/+1. So with a Light from Within down, this could be a 6/6, which gives everything +1/+1. Which, with a Light from Within down, everything's just, yeah, giant. So it's just great value because everything just gets huge. It's awesome. And last but not least, I've got 3 copies of Divinity of Pride. I love this card. I absolutely love it. I don't have any decks where I get to use it, but this is one where I just thought I'm just going to shoehorn in it. I could probably put some smaller creatures in this rather than play another for like a 5-drop, but I don't really care because I just love this card. It's got flying, it's got lifelink. When it gets +4/+4 as long as you have 25 or more life. So we've got a lot of stuff with lifelink, so that's not that difficult. Plus we're hard to attack into because we've got a lot of first strike. So it's not like it's not unreal that we're going to have 25 or more life. So that would be an 8/8 flyer lifelink for that. Okay, and then add 5 mana symbols from from within. So what's that? 13/13 this can be for 5 mana with lifelink and flying. It's just brilliant. It really is a brilliant card. I love it, and I've played it with this deck a few times. You may have saw in the last video I've mentioned that I may play this if I couldn't come up with any deck ideas, and I couldn't come up with any deck ideas, so I'm playing this. And I have played this deck before. I've actually made a few alterations since I last played it. Benelish Marshals weren't in the deck before, but I'm quite intrigued to see how that will go. I mean, can't imagine it being a bad thing. And yeah, so basically, I played this for Divinity of Pride. It was really good. There are a lot of like times where you actually really want to top deck it. Okay, so I'm just going to go with our lands now. So everything's plains. Look at that cool artwork. So everything's plains except 4 copies of Chefnet Dunes. Just pay 1, add white, whatever. But I can pay 4 and sacrifice it, and all my creatures get +1/+1 into end of turn. So everything's going to get even bigger. Very good card. And I've got 4 copies of Windbrisk Heights. So this land enters the battlefield tapped. When it does, look at the top 4 cards of your library, exile 1 face down, and then put the rest on the bottom of your library. And I can add white, obviously. And you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost if you're attacked with 3 or more creatures this turn. So this is kind of a good, like, it's kind of like card draw or card advantage, but with just land. And we are going to be attacking a lot, so this will come up more times than not that we get to play a creature without paying its mana cost. Well, exiled card without paying its mana cost. Yeah, it's do battlefield tab. Look, yeah, because okay, so it's any. It's not even a creature, so it's just any card. So I mean, it's a good way of getting Divinity from Within down early. It's a good way of getting Divinity of Pride down. Light from Within, not Divinity Within. But yeah, and the rest is just plain. So we've got 24 lands overall, so you can do the maths yourself. That is the deck. We've got a pretty cool sideboard. I've tried to keep the sideboard mainly creature related, just so we've just got more stuff just to chuck at our opponent. We want to kind of keep aggro. Having said that, I have got 2 copies of Relic of Progenitus. I would like to make room for 3 really, but I've really been a bit greedy with my sideboard. So there's only 2, so graveyard decks could cause us issues, but hopefully the lifelink might keep us in the game. 2 copies of Stony Silence. Activated abilities of artifacts can't be activated, so that's just good for affinity and other artifact based decks. It does come up. I've got 2 copies of Thalia, Garden of Thraben. Non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. We don't have many non-creatures, so this is great. I've got, against burn, I've got 2 copies of Core Firewalker. Protection from red, and whenever they cast a red spell, we gain a life. That will come up. I've got 2 copies of Leonin, the Relic Warder. This is kind of my artifact and enchantment sort of hate. It's just a 2/2, and it comes down exile target artifact or enchantment. When it dies or leaves the battlefield, they get it back, but whatever. It's very good, and it becomes a 4/4 once we've got Light from Within down. 1 copy of True Believer. I mean, I love the artwork for this one. Look at him. Proper zen, isn't he? So, nothing complicated. We just have Shroud, so against any combo decks that want to, I don't know, or like Storm decks, maybe this would be quite good. We just have Shroud. It's actually very good against Burn as well. There are many reasons why we'd want to have Shroud. It might just have a lot of hand disruption. It's just gonna find a place. I've got 1 copy of Oblivion Ring. It's just my catch-all, exile anything that they've got except the land. They've got Planeswalkers or anything. I am going to sometimes just need removal like that, and Oblivion Rings, that's what that is there for. I've got 1 copy of Paladin on Vec. It's just a 2/2, but it's got first strike, protection from black and from red. So I just put this in if I'm going against a black deck or a red deck. These sort of cards are just quite good. Like, just put them down and they'll have a hard time dealing with them. They'll be able to chip in quite a lot of damage. Mirran Crusader, same reason, but against black and green. So good against green decks, really, and other black decks. And Paladin on Vec. Oh, duh. Okay, I've just got 2 of them. Actually, I want 2 of them. I'm not sure if Mirrodin Crusader is better. No, I'm going to add a Mirrodin Crusader instead. I reckon that would be better. Look at that. On the fly deck builder. Now you've seen it. I'm going to remove that. Look at that, eh? Insane. Okay, right, anyway, either. This is going to be the deck. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I'm quite looking forward to playing this one. I always like just playing just creature decks, which there's no fuss, put them down and attack. I've got no card draw on this. Once I've run out of steam, that's it. So I've got to really just hope that I hit the right cards and just smash face before they release that up. And I think it's going to be really fun. So yeah, if you like this deck, if you like what I do, please subscribe, please give me a like, please give me a comment, that'd be great as well. I think this will be quite a fun one to watch. I might have a hard time with some decks. I can control and a lot of board wipes would really give us a hard time, but I think we can beat a lot of decks in the meta, so it should be fun. So I'll see you for the games, guys. Bye.